T-Man 978 Chill Review.
Hello everyone, T-Man 978. Welcome to my first MAFEX review. This is Batman Hush. Batman from that series, or he's supposed to be representative of that series. But here you go. I got it from Amazon Japan, so I got one of these stickers on there. But box just feels just like SH Figure Arts, like nothing special. Feels flimsy. It feels cheaper than what you expect for how much you have to pay for these import toys. Before I get it open though, I wanted to vent on this. I ordered this Amazon Japan. It got here. It's shipped yesterday from Japan, and it's already here, like early afternoon. Meanwhile, my Mezco John Wick, which Mezco didn't do anything wrong, they shipped from New York, and I'm in Maryland. I still don't have it because FedEx is holding it hostage since before the weekend. I don't know what to do. Inside the packaging, we get this cool artwork right there. It is cool, right? Inside the box, you get a lot of things. One of the things you get is the MAFEX stand. The highly praised, highly coveted. Yeah, it's just a stand. It kind of feels cheap to me, to be honest, compared to my amazing Yamaguchi and Bandai and Figma. But basically it's the same thing, except the peg is too big to fit into anything you got. You got this clamp that uses a screw as far as the tightness. You grab a figure, you put it on the figure, and bam. And my Spider-Man looks like this because I saw it on Parallel Universe's comparison review and stole it. You get 4 Batarang. Here are the 2 looks you get. They are that thick, if you can tell. You get 6 pairs of hands. Some with the Batarang, some with like a slight grip, maybe martial arts pose. Out with graspy hands, grappling gun hands, Batarang hands, and these martial arts gestury hands. And that's not even including his regular fist right here. The permanent grapple gun hand looks like this. Painted silver, very detailed. You have 2 options as far as the grapple gun. You can put on, and the short, not really shot out yet, grapple hook going. Freaking going there. It feels to be all metal. Why won't... Alright, come on. Yeah, there we go. So it looks like that. Looks like a regular hook. And here's what it looks like after you shoot it out. Here's a quick example of him actually using this thing. Him using his own stand and the extended grapple hook right there. It's made out of wire, so you could bend that all up to look like it's uncoiling, but I wouldn't suggest that because Lord knows if it'll stay in good shape. Here's a close-up on his face. It's pretty clean. I mean, when you look close at it, I'm saying the paint on this side should have went over there, but I'm pretty sure it will vary. I like the way the ears are sculpted right there. So that's nice. As far as the way this is feeling, this is my first time ever experiencing a MAFEX. When it comes to high-end stuff, I'm used to messing with Figma and SH Figure Arts, and they have a harder plastic style. This plastic, I guess, you know what, I was thinking it feels closer to retail style plastic, but using high-end articulation and joints. But I guess I can kind of compare it to Storm Collectibles a little bit. But I'm going to be honest with you. Some of the quality as far as the paint getting on to where it's supposed to be, I mean, it's mostly neat for the most part. But for as much as these things cost, I was expecting a tiny taste better. As far as paint quality and the way it feels. At the end of the day though, the sculpt and the motion is good, and I'm going to get into that. They have paint on a chin, if you can't see that. It's pretty much has like some type of wash all over everything. It's not just plain flat paint. Like even the belt has like a dirty wash on there a little bit. They didn't go crazy with it, but certain areas look dirty. I'm not sure if that's done purposely, but it's definitely dirty right here. If yours isn't, let me know. Here's something I'm not used to. He has a hooked peg right there. So I guess that helps with the backwards motion right here. But here's this face sculpt right here. Kind of makes me think of Wolverine. But Wolverine has been reminding me of friggin' Batman forever because of his mask sculpt. So I guess it makes sense. But the paint is better on the right side of his face. But it's a little unpainted on that little edge. But I'd rather it not be painted on his face, so that's good. If you grab the head and neck at the same time, you can pull the head and the cowl off. And we can go with this head right here, which is the unmasked Bruce Wayne face, which is also painted. And I could tell they have a similar comic book style to what I've seen of the MAFEX Spider-Man. It seems like it was done by the same artist, which might be actually true. Look at the hair sculpt. I can see blue highlights in it. And Bruce Wayne always reminded me of how they draw Clark Kent or Superman sometimes. I guess Bruce's most defining feature is his eyebrows come to a point at the top. He seems to always be drawn like that. But there we go. While we're up close, I'll let you see the details on his body other than the belt and whatnot. And you saw the DC markings under his back. He has like a weird hole right there at the top. You can't see it because my lighting. But it's a tiny hole that's too small for a stand. Butt cheeks are half sculpted at the top of the leg. And yeah. And I've been trying to play it off. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it on camera. But the toe on this foot is way darker than the rest of the shoe. It's not like that on this one. Let me brighten it up. Yeah, you can't, depending on the angle, you can't see it, but I can, there we go. That's what it looks like to me. But from certain angles, it does blend in. The cape. The cape is huge. The bendy wire in the front is your typical skinny bendy wire. It's like permanently attached in there. But there's a second bendy wire that feels flat. It is that thick. And it doesn't really feel incredibly securely attached right there. If you had the SH Figure Arts Justice League Batman, you know what I'm talking about. It was just like not firmly attached in the front at all, so it made that one useless on that figure. The cape is humongous, I'm not gonna lie. Main gripes with the cape though is I don't really like this stitching. Depending on how you could kind of bend it in, and I'm not gonna fight with that on camera right now, but you can kind of bend it in to hide that. And the main thing I don't like is the double stitching on the inside for the inner wire. I mean, as you can see in this pose right here, you don't even see that inner wire, so maybe that works for you. So yeah, and maybe there should have been a bendy wire in the back to hold it up right here. That would have been good. So if anything I could change about the cape is I would have wanted an extra bendy wire in the back to hold it up in the back, because doing these, it only holds it up but so much. But that's still good. I'm not gonna harp on it. It's not too terrible, but I do want to point out my thoughts on that. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm using the more pinchy hands for this. This is probably what it's for. I was saying martial arts type stuff, but it's probably for that. George Plastic Addict says it's important to be able to get the cape, or to show it if it can go behind him or not. This is the best I can do. It's kind of thick, so if you want to mess around with it, you might be able to do better than me, but I personally will probably have it on the shoulder a bit. And here's my best chance at, or my best try at getting the stitching not showing right there. I guess it's nothing you can do about that unless you really, really want to work at it and risk damaging it. But it shows there, but you can turn it under right here, so that's cool. Let's get into this articulation. The neck is awesome. he can look up a lot. He can look down a lot. Of course, he can tilt and all that and spin around and tilt with just the top of the head. And of course, you can rotate the base of the neck if the Adam's apple gets out of whack because of you rotating that. Butterfly joints, or the ball hinge anyway, or the ball post, I mean. It can go up, down, forward. It can come in a lot without popping out of the socket or anything, so that's good. It can go back, like, yeah, a decent amount, and of course rise up and down. He has double hinged elbows and a universal joint at the wrist to do any and everything you need them to do. They bend like all the way in, almost before you pull it off the peg if it goes too far. But there we go, that's as deep as I can get it. This is on a double ball post right here, so it can go back a lot and show that, and it can crunch forward a tremendous amount. And then the bottom down here, you get tiltage, and you can crunch them forward a ton. That is great. This is probably one of the best torso articulations on a double ball post type figure that I've messed with. The belt is actually separate from the pants or the undies. The legs drop down, they go out that far before you're popping it off the ball socket. There is a swivel up in here, McFarlane style, but of course different. The undies are a bit soft. It's not soft in the front. I guess it's hard plastic behind that, but you can drop it down and kick up more than 90 degrees if you like. You bend this and they try to keep this at a good sculpt. And here's something I didn't pay attention to until I was talking to Parts Former. When you move the legs out like this on this left leg, for me on my copy, when you put it back, it seems like you have to shift that back up like it does that, as you can see. On this leg, and this is probably what he was talking about, when you bend it all the way back, when you try to send it back, it kind of gets stuck right here. So I had to like push it back under there. Not a super big deal, but I want to bring it up. Universal ball joints in the ankles for all types of crazy movement back, movement forward. You saw that ankle pivot, and it has toe articulation that is decently stiff. This one is a little bit more loose, so great range of motion. I really like it. The hands are pretty self-explanatory, but I do want to have a few shots of me showing them off in all his various configurations. These fists right here at first glance just look like a regular fist, but there's a cutout so that he can hold the batarang. There's that one, and there is this one right here. Plastic Addict says he's never seen him with the cape closed in any pictures or anything. So here's this, and let's get to the size comparison. Here are some various figures that claim to be 6-inch or 1/12 scale. This is the vintage Spider-Man that just came out, the new carded one. He is slightly taller than that Spider-Man, and he's definitely taller than Snake Eyes as far as the eyes, but I believe this Deadpool is on the Bucky Cat mold. Bucky Cat is huge. Maybe Deadpool got a growth spurt, or maybe he's just that tall. And here's how tall he is with the hips extended. If you don't mind having him depending on the pose you want, he is a little bit taller with the hips extended. Here's my only DC Icons figure. His hips are down again. DC Icons are like 5 inches tall, but in this case I think it works. Here's my Mezco Punisher and Blade, MCU Marvel Legends Taskmaster, and my NECA Alien Xenomorph right there. Synthetic came in 1,000 toys. McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Batman right here. Storm Collectible Scorpion. The only freaking Joker I have from McFarlane Toys. End of the day though, I really like this Batman. I am pretty much all the way satisfied with it. The cape is big, huge, and a little bit hard to work with. So let me take away that all the way satisfied mark that I just gave it. I would give him a 9 out of 10 because of the cape. The cape, you have to just do too much adjusting and whatnot. But if you're used to that with bendy wire and whatnot, you should be okay. Like somebody with OCD like George, Plastic Addict, watching this would be like, oh, the cape wouldn't be floating up like that, but it's too much micromanaging. So sometimes you just gotta deal with it. But anyhow, the paint is decent, the sculpt is great, the articulation is great. The paint is more than decent, it is good. The overall stiffness of the joints, when it comes to high-end collectibles, I'm used to the joints being more stiff. It does keep the pose, but it just feels a little loose for my liking. I wish the joints were a little bit tighter. But overall, this thing is great, and I think it will be tough to beat. There is another variation out that uses black instead of blue, but he was blue in the comic. And the black one apparently comes with a different base that looks like a bird or something, like a sculpture from a building. And it doesn't come with the Bruce Wayne face. So if you don't care about the Bruce Wayne face and you want black, there you go. Options. I do think this thing is a little expensive. I mean, it does come with a ton of accessories. It comes with more accessories than your typical basic SH figure arts. There are no like special effects types things besides the zip line or the grappling hook line and the grappling hook. So I mean, it comes with enough stuff for me to be satisfied. I can't complain about it too much. Ooh, I hope I didn't just break that. But yeah, I'm good. I like it. It's great. Thank you for watching this. Until next time, T-Man978 out of here. Click the videos. Click the videos, baby. Click the videos. You should really click these videos. Click the videos. Click those videos, baby. Click the videos. You really should click those videos. Click that shit.